how to save money on plants without going near a garden centre.
In some cases, you can, have a bargain as like 25 to 50%.
And we put designer paint to the test to see if it's really worth spending more.
I feel strangely vindicated.
Some people have naturally green fingers.
And some people kill every plant they've ever owned, like me.
But if you are capable of caring for a plant, where should you go to find the best quality with the lowest prices?
According to her husband Vinny, Hannah has a plant addiction. If only she could admit it to herself.
We must have about 3 plants.
We have 5 in the bathroom.
We do have 5 in the bathroom, but some of them are artificial, which don't count.
They do count. And we have them in the bedroom, in the kitchen, and then the garden. The garden is absolutely,
There's lots of plants in the
full
garden,
of plants.
that's for certain.
We're following them on their regular trip to a nearby garden centre.
We normally buy plants from garden centres. Nurseries, I feel like you get a good price for plants as well.
We always seem to be in a garden centre.
Well, that is kind of true. Oh, and
Hannah loves plants, but that doesn't mean she's got green fingers.
Oh, look, a lemon tree to go with the orange tree that I haven't brought in the winter. I kill plants really easily, so I'm pretty price conscious when I buy plants because I know that they might not survive.
I do like that.
Yeah.
How much is it?
$44.99.
It's quite expensive.
If I'm a better plant mom this time.
Okay.
Although Hannah says she's price conscious, Vinny's not so sure.
Is it actually really heavy?
No, it's fine.
We don't spend that much on plants a month.
I reckon between April and September, we probably average £30 to £40 a month, I would say.
I think it's good that he thinks that's all we spend on plants.
But instead of spending all their money at the garden centre,
Card, please.
could Vinny and Hannah spend less by buying plants elsewhere?
Petra Schutten is a florist who has supplied garden centres but also worked as a plant buyer for Tesco's, Co-op and Morrison's. She says supermarkets often sell the same plants for a lot less.
Garden centres, nurseries have got a really broad selection, really in-depth selection, but supermarket retailers offer a really quick off-the-shelf opportunity. You might walk away with a really good bargain. In some cases, you can, have a bargain that's like 25 to 50% less expensive than a garden centre.
That's a huge amount.
It is massive.
Why are plants in a supermarket so much cheaper than a garden centre?
It is a different buying model. Large retailers, when they procure plants in the market, they work with growers over a time scale of 3 to 5 years, and they buy bulk. So they literally are lorry loads full.
Do you think there's almost a sort of snobbery or sniffiness about buying plants from a supermarket?
I think there's an element of snobbery in there, but it is growing. And if you have a good product on the shop floor, people will come back.
So which plants should you look out for in a supermarket this spring? Here are Petra's top tips. Starting with a ficus, also known as a weeping fig.
Ficus plants are always a really good winner. They're really strong, very resilient.
A standard size ficus will cost around £13 in a garden centre, but £10 in a supermarket. Next, for some retro chic, try a money tree.
Money trees are really, really trendy at the moment, very sort of 70s.
A small money tree costs around £10 in a garden centre, but you can find them for £6 in a supermarket. And why not snap up an orchid to give to someone special in your life?
Orchids is always a favourite. It's a really good present gift, and everybody loves an orchid.
You might spend £15 on a 2-stem orchid like this in a garden centre, but they can be found for £10 in a supermarket.
Are there any downsides of buying plants at a supermarket?
Sometimes you do see that plants have not been treated properly. A plant that looks damaged by its environment, it's hard to revive that. I would say sometimes there's like a 50-50 chance that something picks up. So I would stay away from that. If you're there when the plants are just unpacked and have just arrived, I would say you stand a really fair chance.
But remember, while supermarkets are good for a bargain, they aren't a one-stop shop for your garden.
If you are less green fingers than the average person, a garden centre is a perfect spot to get that information You pay a little bit extra for that. Garden centres make more of an effort into like varieties, more unusual plants you can get there. Literally the whole A to Z of plants would live there. Different varieties, more unusual colours, more textured leaves. So that's really where the difference lays, and that's commercially less interesting for a supermarket.
I've started talking to my plants. Is that normal?
I hug mine.
So if you're getting green-fingered this weekend, a good independent garden centre is the perfect place to find the widest choice and the best advice.
But you might find a supermarket has some of the same plants at a similar quality for a lot less.
Depending on which supplier you go with, a tin of paint can cost anything between £5 and £50.
Becca and Sean have spent the past year doing up their new house, and much of that time has been spent painting.
Every single surface in our house required a paint job.
They know what they like, but how well do Becca and Sean really know their paints?
I have a challenge for you. In here we have got 3 pots of off-white paint. Each of these off-white paints cost a different amount, and they're from different places. Can you tell which one is the most expensive?
Okay,
We'll start with these.
that looks like PVA.
Viscosity.
Oh, this is quite thin.
Oh, we're getting technical.
I think this one's perhaps the thickest, because look, it's
Nothing
It's
coming
kinda
off at
hanging
all. I mean, I would say the first one, I don't like the colour as much.
Okay, so if you were to choose, having now painted with them all, which order would you put them in?
I think we should put that one the most expensive,
Right.
and then this one the cheapest.
Well, I think we've made our decision. Shall we find out? Oh my God. Okay, so the paint that you thought was most expensive is from Good Home. It's called Alberta, and it costs £6.80 per litre.
Okay.
Okay, the next one is from Dulux, and it's called Alabaster White. Now this one is £16.80 per litre.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
But, best of all, the most expensive was the one you picked the least. This one is from Little Green. It's called Slaked Lime, and this one is £26 per litre. Completely the other way around.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we like cheap paint.
Yeah, well, isn't that great?
Yeah, it's
Good
to
for
know.
you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
But which ones actually perform best, and what do the professionals use?
Mike Coupit runs the Decorators Forum, a gossip site for painters and decorators, and he's been in the business for 19 years, so he knows a thing or two about paint.
There are 3 different markets when it comes to paint. There is what we call the retail paint, which is paint that is made to a budget, that is sold to the masses, sold in DIY shops, B&Q, home base. Then you've got trade paints, still made to a budget, but designed to perform a little bit better than retail. It's the paint that a painter and decorator would steer a homeowner towards. Then you've got designer paint, which is a step up again. You are kind of paying for the name, so you're paying for an awful lot of marketing there, and that's for your sort of upper class sort of homeowner.
So what kind of paint should I be using then? What's the best quality?
I would, if you were my client, probably steer you more towards the trade paint side of the market rather than designer paint.
We're putting one of the poshest paints in the market to the test, Farrow Ball.
Farrow Ball are the Goliath of designer paints. They have done very, very well in recent years. They've got a range of colours there that stand out from the crowd.
We're testing Farrow Ball's most durable modern emulsion. A 5-litre tin costs £95. We've chosen a lovely shade of off-white with an equally lovely name, Skimming Stone. But you can get the same shade mixed up in a cheaper trade paint.
On the Farrow Ball colour chart, there will be a code. If you go into any decorating centre, they will have that on file and they'll be able to mix it for you there and then.
We got 2 popular trade paints mixed in the same colour as the Farrow Ball.
Johnstone's Trade Perfect Matte costing £75 for 5 litres.
And Valspar Trade Emulsion, half the price of the Farrow Ball at just £49. They were sent to a leading paint testing lab and put through their paces, testing for everything from coverage to how easy they were to clean.
Time to tell Mike the results. First, the paints were ranked by overall appearance.
Farrow Ball have the worst finish when applied with a roller.
Yeah.
But the best when painted with a brush.
Oh, okay.
The paint's all covered a bare wall with 2 coats. But what if you need to cover up a stain?
Now, Farrow Ball came out as the worst at covering up pen marks.
Okay.
Which is obviously terrible if you're clumsy like me, if you've got kids. And even after 2 coats, it failed to cover blue biro.
Next test, if your kids draw on the wall, can you scrub it off?
Farrow Ball we found was the hardest to clean. You have to rub it more with a scourer to remove the pen marks, but this also removed large patches of paint.
And finally, which paint stood up best to wear and tear?
Now, Farrow Ball was the least resistant to scratches, and Valspar was the most resistant.
And you can buy Valspar from any sort of B&Q. A decent trade product, I think.
Once the experts compiled the results, there was only one winner, and it's not the designer paint. Johnstone's Trade Perfect Matte came out top overall, followed by Valspar Trade, and Farrow Ball's most expensive paint came in third.
I feel strangely vindicated because I have been telling my clients for years and years and years that trade paint will outperform the luxury brands, and for you to sort of come on and tell me that I've been right all this time has made my day.
Farrow Ball told us,
We regularly benchmark our products to industry-recognised, standardised assessments. Modern emulsion is Class 1 best in all colours according to ISO 11998 Wet Scrub Resistance Test. We have also recently been awarded Which Best Buy for washable, wipeable paint following their extensive independent tests.